All right, it is episode 17.
17.
First
Back
two
at it.
episodes in
Part one and
one
two.
day.
Yeah, it is.
This is going to be a shorter episode. If you even hear this, hopefully this doesn't air and we can get together and do a full length episode. But we're recording this today just because we're together and Blake's going out of town next weekend. So I just wanted to record at least 20, 30 minutes so that if we can't get back together, at least there's something to post. I'd rather post 20 minutes than nothing. You know, consistency is a big thing for me. I want to keep it up.
I need to get Jackson's laughter on the camera.
You can definitely hear it.
Did you win any Did you have any superlatives growing up?
I did not.
I didn't either.
The only one I was upset about is I didn't get best hair.
Who got best hair for the guys our senior year?
It was Brian something. It was a black dude.
Brian Savage?
Yeah, I think.
Did he get best hair?
I think he got best hair. Which I mean, I can't deny. Dude had great hair.
He had good hair.
You know,
Good hair.
had great hair.
Superlatives are so weird.
It's so stupid.
Isn't that a weird
it's
one?
So stupid.
Best hair is
Why are we encouraging teenagers to rank the most attractive people in their high school?
That is so odd.
That seems a little backwards.
Yeah, who's the most attractive?
Do they still do superlatives?
I would assume.
I think my brother won most attractive.
Really?
I didn't win shit.
I didn't either.
Don't nobody know me.
Yeah, man. I don't even know, dude.
Yeah, I think Brett won most attractive. I know Rob Williams, my cousin, he won, I believe, most likely to succeed.
Rob Willie, I think he did.
I don't remember any of the other winners in our class.
Who was most likely to succeed? Was Sharia Shah?
Maybe.
She
I don't
won
know.
one. I think that's the one she won.
I don't know which
pretty
other
sure.
one she would have won.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even remember what all of them are. What are all
There's
of
most
them?
likely to
Besides
succeed, most attractive, best hair, best dressed.
Best couple.
Is that a one?
Yeah.
Again, that's dirty.
Yeah, that's
That's
one.
such a dirty thing. Do they still do superlatives? That seems very not cool.
Best smile.
Maybe.
Best dressed.
I said that one.
But you said best
Did
dressed.
Takeezy win best dressed?
He should have.
I think he might have. I can't remember. Dude, high school, good times.
Good
Good
times.
times.
That is wild though. I'm trying to think. What superlative would you add?
That's a great question.
I think
What's like a wholesome superlative? Most likely to be a good father.
holiest.
Most Christian.
Most Christian.
I'm honestly surprised that that's not one.
In Southern high schools, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that's not one.
Most Christian.
Yeah, like most likely to be a good parent.
Godliest.
That should be a good one. Like,
That'd be a good one.
That's a wholesome one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Most likely to commit a school shooting.
Ooh, that. That's just begging for trouble.
Yeah, most what about negative? Most likely to commit acts of violence.
Ooh.
Most likely.
Most likely to stick up the little cricket.
Most likely to go to jail for life.
Oh.
No, I can't think of many wholesome ones. The bad ones are a lot easier to think of.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh.
Most likely to be famous. I guess that's most likely to succeed.
I
in
feel
a
like
way.
some high schools have that one.
Most likely to be famous.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine like L.A.
Yeah, I think that is one in some.
But
high
then,
schools.
what about we were in a pretty small high school. I think our graduating class had because you only
like-
vote people in your class.
It's like
Our graduating class
300
was
is like 278 or something.
yeah, I know it was less than 300 for sure.
I think it was like 280 ish.
I don't think it was that many. But anyway, what about giant high schools where the graduating class is 1,000 people?
Does that exist?
Absolutely. What are you talking about?
Is there a high school that has 1,000 people
In one class? 100%.
graduating
I
class?
want to say Dorman at when we were in high school, Dorman's entire population was like 3,000 or 4,000 kids. You Googling it?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's absolutely high schools that big, dude. 100%. What's the biggest high school in America?
I'm looking up something similar. I searched biggest high school graduating class. Largest high schools in South Carolina. I don't care about South Carolina.
I
In
bet there's some
America.
in South Carolina. I bet some big like 4A high schools in Greenville and shit have 1,000 people in a graduating class.
So let's go to straight to number 1 from 100. Brooklyn Technical High School. 8,000
Jesus.
8,000 students. 8,000
Across the 4 grades.
8,076, yeah.
So yeah, they at least have 1,000 seniors if they got 8,000 people in their high school, right? I mean, just through the numbers, 8 divided by 4 is 2,000 people in each class on average. I would imagine that probably the average is
2,000.
about like so. Yeah, there's 100% high school. I bet rank 100 has 1,000 people in their graduating class.
So in Union, we had about 1,200 in our whole school. So number 100 has 3,413 students.
Wow, so that drops off quick.
I think the biggest high school in South Carolina is Wando, but let me double check that. I think
That sounds familiar. But that's a lower state school, isn't it?
it's in it's on Mount Pleasant.
Okay, yeah, I want to say you're right. It's up there. It's definitely up there. Man, that is so like I couldn't imagine going to a high school that big. Like, I think our high school was like the perfect size where everybody kind
Yeah.
of knew everybody.
Yeah, and
Like-
it was. Yeah, well, yeah. I
Like
thought
there
it was a
weren't
good school.
many faces in high school that I didn't at least know their name. Well, I'll say in our grade. You know, by the time we're seniors, you don't know who the fucking freshmen are.
Right.
But like, yeah, like that's 2,000 people in your class is an insane number
That's
of people.
crazy. How big is that school?
That's bigger than either of the colleges I went to.
That school is. Oh yeah. No, Clemson's bigger.
Coastal doesn't. I don't think Coastal has 8,000 students.
Clemson has like 20-some thousand.
I know SMC didn't. SMC had about the same size as our high school.
Really.
But then again, that was a JUCO, so it's only 2 grades
Presbyterian was smaller than our high school. It had like
for sure.
It had like a little under 1,100 kids.
So there's 34,000 people going to USC Columbia.
But yeah,
Wow.
that kind of goes back to what you're talking about. Like if you go to one of those schools, you have no control over who you see on a daily basis. Jackson, get down off that table.
So Coastal has about 10,000 students. Well, that was 2016. That was before they won the baseball national championship. So
What's
they
the
probably
biggest high school in
gained
South
more.
Carolina? Public high school, I guess.
Public high school. Yeah, I mean, well, the biggest one's going to be public.
Right. I'm gonna guess Wando.
Biggest high school in South Carolina. South Carolina Connections Academy is an online school.
It's a high school.
Okay, so Cyber Academy. There's 3 online schools that are the top of the charts.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then you've got Dorman.
Dorman is the largest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dorman, then Somerville, then Wando, and then Carolina Forest.
Carolina Forest.
Yeah, that's Myrtle Beach area.
Damn.
That's between Conway and Myrtle Beach. I'm almost positive.
So
'cause-
online has by far more.
yeah, the
way
top
more students.
3 high schools, because it's probably homeschooling
Right,
online.
right.
The top 3 biggest high schools in South Carolina are online schools.
That's wild.
That's got to be the case in most states, though, right? Because if you think about if there's only certain online academies for homeschoolers, then there's going to be way more homeschoolers than there are in one single high school across the whole state. So that kind of makes sense, right? You know? I wonder what's the ratio of public schoolers to private schoolers to homeschoolers?
I don't know. The last 2 years of Hannah's high school career were with the Cyber Academy. She finished online.
Ratio of public school students to private school students? I'm curious about that. I'm sorry, this is very boring and a lot of dead air.
Not really.
Ratio of public school to homeschool.
Can you even figure this out?
Yeah, that's going to be a terrible.
They have do they have data on that?
I'm sure they do
I'm sure
because
they have a
they have
percentage
data on
breakdown.
every single child in the state.
Right.
Yeah, this is just dead air. Sorry. From 2018 to 2019, there was about 20,000 homeschooled kids. Looks like what it says. Yeah, and it's been going up every single year because Disney's trying to make us gay, and the teachers are trying to indoctrinate our kids. So we got to pull them out of public school.
What about the phthalates, bro?
Oh my God, that's just making us all stupid.
What about the endocrine disruptors?
Oh, well, they're not going to get those at home.
It's making our taint small.
Yeah, they're definitely not getting any phthalates at home.
Yeah. We never use plastic.
Never. There's not a single piece of plastic in my house.
I never use plastic ever.
Imagine how many individual pieces of plastic are in your house.
Oh my heavens.
So many.
Our homes are made of plastic. Like the siding, literally the siding that we use is made of plastic for a lot of our homes.
Yeah, like vinyl siding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, inside your house. I don't know. I'm looking around and I see a lot more fabric, wood, and paper than I'm seeing plastic.
It's more our products.
A little bit of metal. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost everything we have that's plastic is a consumable product.
Well, I mean that flooring is plastic.
Yeah.
What is carpet made of?
Carpet, plastic,
No, it's not.
polyester. I guarantee most carpet's polyester, which is just plastic.
Dude,
That's
it
scary, isn't it?
literally made of plastic?
That's scary. Yeah, that's what polyester is.
Are you sure? We're gonna have to look into that. That's fucking weird. Come on now.
What's the most common material used in carpeting? It's got to be polyester.
Well,
I'm looking it up, but I'm just saying it has to be polyester.
Okay.
Like most of our clothes are polyester,
I thought
or
it
at
was
least
made
blended.
out of animal products, like fur. I thought it was made out of like some.
I highly doubt that.
Some is.
The most fucking expensive carpet you could possibly pay for. Think about how much a wool shirt costs. Animal product hair carpet would be thousands,
Look it up.
tens of thousands of dollars.
I'm pretty sure that they use animal products, dude.
Maybe a little bit, but I don't know.
Like
man.
rugs, I'm pretty sure a lot of like fine rugs are made out of wool.
You're talking fine rugs. We're talking about the majority of households.
Like fine rugs are made out of animal fur.
How many people have fine rugs in their house? Very few, I would imagine.
Only the peasants.
Materials used in carpet.
Look at this fine polyester floor I got.
All right, so this episode is just going to be us Googling things and talking about them.
Honestly, we're learning something.
Over 90% of all the carpet made today is made up of synthetic fiber. Fucking plastic.
Synthetic fiber.
That's plastic.
Does it say a plastic
The rest is
polymer?
natural. The rest is natural fiber, most commonly wool.
Wool. Okay.
Synthetic fibers are usually made up of one of three materials: nylon, polypropylene, or polyester, all of which are plastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I told you. It just makes sense. It's the cheapest way, and it's one of the most massively marketed things on the planet, or at least in America. It's fucking carpet.
Right.
I like hardwood.
Of course.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like hardwood with one of those fine rugs you're talking about laying on.
Nice bear skin. nice bear skin rug.
Hell yeah.
Yep. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's why. But then, yeah, if you want to fucking pay out the ass, you can get a wool or a cotton carpet. Do you know how expensive a wool carpet would be, dude?
It's like a big towel.
Fucking 1,100 square feet of wool.
Jeez.
Dude, a pair of wool socks is like $60 for a nice pair. Like, it'd be so expensive.
That is awesome. Can you imagine having a wool floor?
Oh, that'd be so nice.
It'd be fucking incredible.
Antibacterial?
Dude. Like, what if you just put it on, like, only in the master bedroom? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
just some baller shit.
That would be fucking baller.
That's
But
some baller.
also, like,
you would just get a rug.
like bed sheets.
You would just get a nice rug.
Bed sheets are going to be 90% polyester.
Right.
God, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild to think
And
about.
they say that those fabrics also have those endocrine disruptors.
Really?
Yeah. Plastics, they have these carbon materials that interfere with our endocrine system. Yeah, it's weird because our body absorbs these carbon. What is plastic? It's made of carbon. It's a carbon polymer, right? So it's like our body takes in pieces of that through like dermal touch.
Right.
You know?
Oh, it's so crazy.
Especially in areas that are open, like mouth, nose, ears,
yeah, for sure.
genitals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Any
it's-
orifice.
right? It's weird.
It's so strange. What do you try to avoid aluminum?
I mean, for what? For use of what?
Like,
what
I mean,
use?
some people even say that using aluminum foil is bad for you.
I haven't had aluminum foil
But,
in forever. I haven't used it in
Like,
a while.
I usually use just regular deodorant. I don't usually go antiperspirant because my brother, back when he was introducing me to all the conspiracy theories of the world, he was like, "You need to stray away from aluminum. It's clogging up your pores. It's bad for you. It's getting in your system because our bodies run on iron.
Right.
There's so much iron. Iron's good for us. So people say that having a different type of metal is not good. Like I don't know. I've just heard that argument with aluminum. I haven't looked up the research in a decade easily.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was just curious if you think at all about I don't use deodorant with aluminum in it.
Underarms is a that's another very sensitive part of our body, and I think a lot of people have skin issues in sensitive places.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
That are related to some of these things. You know what I mean? Like underarms.
I would imagine, yeah. They have
like
to be.
you always you see teenagers especially of really severe acne, like maybe on the chest or the back, or under the arms or on the face or in the ass area. All these different places. Like all of that is related to the endocrine system,
right?
And if that's out of wax,
disruptions.
right, and then we're just bombarding our body all the time with these things that really affect our natural hormone system, right, and our natural hormone cycle. Right, it can have all sorts of effects that we don't understand at all. We just don't have a grasp on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I've never really thought about obviously a lot of acne,
but even like things like
stems from something.
Even things like what people think are cysts. You know what I mean? Stuff like that
could just be disrupted hormones.
Who knows? I don't know. I know they say that a lot of these things are caused by overactive immune system.
Yeah.
Or
I'm sorry, I was reading something. I wasn't paying attention. The CDC says don't worry about aluminum.
No, well,
but of course they do.
Yeah,
of course they do.
They seem to have a very good reputable.
Yeah, they told us
they have a good reputation.
They told us quite a few things not to worry about over the past few years. And they told us some other things that we should really be worried about that weren't that big of a deal. It's funny. Got to trust the government, though.
Got to love the government. Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Is the CDC a government organization? Or is it private?
I think they're private.
I think so, too. Is the CDC a government agency? CDC Foundation managed hundreds of programs in the U.S. and for more than 160 countries last year because CDC is a federal agency. All science...
It's a federal agency?
Yes.
The United States ran federal agency?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. That's interesting.
I believe, unless I'm misinterpreting what I'm reading right now. Well, dude, it's Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.gov. It's definitely a government agency. That's scary as hell, dude.
You think of that. I thought about, when you hear the CD.
We're going to get flagged for misinformation.
It's a global organization. You know what I mean?
It's
yeah, they take care of 160 countries.
160 countries.
Pretty much all of them.
Using the American agenda.
Yeah, we even
using our science.
We even use inches all across the world. You're dealing with the CDC.
Dude, people like to talk shit on America's using standard measurements or imperial measurements, both of which are very arrogant for us to call them. Standard or imperial is hilarious that we use those terms.
Right.
But the UK has it fucked up the worst because they use both. And it's so fucking confusing.
And they also have something else. Like, what is stones?
That's a weight.
Yeah.
Stone is weight. But they'll use things like feet and yards. And then they'll also say meters.
We all kind of know it. If you tell me something's 3 meters or 100 meters, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can generalize what that
means. Or
means.
even if it's like a 5K. You know what I mean? You know that's 5,000 meters.
Right.
So.
A little over 2 miles.
3.2.
3.2 miles? See, I'm not that good at it. Kilometers actually fuck me up more than anything.
Kilometers.
Because like a meter is so close to a yard, and I can visualize that. But a kilometer is what? A mile is 2.2 kilometers.
Yeah, I think.
We sound like idiots right now. It's too. Well, I know like a kilogram. No. What am I thinking?
A kilogram.
It's 2.2 pounds.
Exactly.
I think it's the same ratio for miles to kilometers, though.
No, it's not.
No. Okay. No. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking of kilograms to pounds. Right. But we use grams all the fucking time.
For what?
For medication.
Flour. I measure flour in grams usually.
Yeah, for cooking, for medication. We use grams for a lot of things.
I like grams.
Grams are cool. We don't really. Is there a standard? Like ounces is about as low as we go, right? Ounces is not metric.
Even if you're a scientist, you're not using.
Well, if
pounds.
you're a scientist, you're using the metric system a lot anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then
I think the base 10 is the way to go for most things.
base 10s make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It just makes things easier.
It's so weird that our time is base 6.
12.
12?
Same thing.
Well, I mean, 60 seconds, 60 hours, or 60 minutes is an hour. And there's 12 hours and
It's both.
12 months. Yeah, it's both. Well, I mean, they're divisible. So
Right. So the lowest one would be 6.
yeah, so the base.
Or would that also work with 3 and 2?
True. But I don't, that's.
I like 12. It's a base 12. It is.
It's 6. It's definitely 6.
Oh my god.
Because only the higher denominations use 12. At the most basic, it's 6.
Let me go check.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh man, what else should I Google? This is a fun episode. Hopefully you guys never hear this one and we record something better next week. Or maybe this is just the most interesting podcast we've ever done. Who knows?
He's fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I would consider it base 6, but I mean it's a dumb because it's the smallest is 6,
The clock has 12 whole units.
which are all divided by 6, by units of 60 seconds, 60 minutes. The 60 minutes is broken up into 12 hours, but it's still one rotation is 60 minutes,
Okay.
right? One rotation of the second hand is 60 seconds. One rotation of the minute hand is 60 minutes, and then the hour hand just does it 12.
What do you like here? If you like an analog watch,
Yeah.
do you like numbers or just what do you like?
I like what you got.
Where it's just points.
I don't mind numbers, but yeah, I mean, like right now I'm rocking numbers.
Got numbers. I like numbers.
I like numbers.
I also like this.
I like
too.
the little
Simple,
dashes.
yeah.
I mean, Roman numerals are cool, but at the end of the day, you don't even need anything. You can look at a watch, and as long as you know about what hour you're in, you can figure it out. You know.
I've had a busy face before, and I don't like a busy face.
I've been rocking an Apple Watch for so long now. But if I'm doing an analog wristwatch, I like exactly what you got. I like just a very, very basic face with dashes to mark the numbers, and then I like a date. I gotta have a date. I would never buy a watch without a date on it.
Just so you guys know what I have a Hook and Gaff Sports Fisher, black. It's a beautiful watch. I fucking love it.
But then I also, like I said, a big priority for me with an analog watch is a movable bezel, just because it helps for like timing.
Movable bezel is sick.
Like if you want to time anything less than an hour or even over an hour, you can be like, all right, well, I started. It's 12:22, and then I just move my bezel to 22, and it's like that's when it started.
At the same time, I look at it's 50. If I want a 20-minute timer, I know when it hits.
Right, but you got to remember when you started that timer, which is what the movable bezel does for you.
Right.
You don't have to remember like, oh god, what time did I put it in?
Yeah.
Fuck, what time did I? You just look.
Right
and
there.
also a cool thing about bezels that rotate is you can keep up with different time zones. So like,
true.
If Quinn's 6 hours behind, I just set that bezel and I'm like, okay, it helps me remember to calculate the 6 hours behind.
That's the whole GMT.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not big on I don't care about a stopwatch. I don't care about
The
a
chronograph.
I don't
Yeah.
care about having the fucking
No.
moon phase on my watch.
Moon phase is fucking cool. I like a moon phase.
Well, what I can have that you can't is I can have my watch tell me the weather up to date. I don't know, man. I love an Apple Watch. I know they're so like I'm have the most respect ever for mechanical watches. They're so awesome. I'm enamored by the engineering that is behind them.
Yeah.
But the convenience of a smartwatch is so nice.
I don't like it beeping at me.
Mine vibrates. It never beeps.
I've never vibrate, same thing.
I've never ever had my watch on not silent mode. It's always just vibrates at me.
I had an Apple Watch for a while, and I did wear it. It's very comfortable, very nice. I don't know.
But it's nice because
I didn't like all that. I just liked it. I like the simple time only.
I know. I agree with you. I think there's definitely a nice thing to have that. But for me, like, and plus you can set the notifications. If you don't want it buzzing all the time about random bullshit, you just tell it not to.
Right.
But like, say I'm at work and like my mom texts me and I'm doing something, I can just real quick be like, is this something I need to drop what I'm doing and respond? Or I can not do it. Or my phone might be across the room and a shitty song comes on, next song. It's so convenient. Or like, hey, what's the weather outside? Oh, it's 77 today. How nice. It's going to rain in however many hours, you know? It's so convenient. It's so convenient.
Yeah,
I wish it didn't look like so much shit. But I'm also locked into Apple. Apple makes the ugliest smartwatch.
I don't think the Apple Watch looks good. The band doesn't look great, but you can get a nice band for it.
Yeah, I know. But like the Galaxy watches look dope. Because they're circular. They look just like a mechanical watch, except they're digital. But like, even having an Apple Watch, I refuse to put a digital face on it. I always have a regular analog clock face on my Apple Watch because I'm not losing that skill. They don't even teach that in school anymore.
What?
I'm pretty sure I heard that they took that out of core curriculum for little kids in elementary schools. They don't teach them how to read an analog clock.
It's pretty easy. I'm gonna try not to rely on the school system to teach him too much.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. If you want your kid to be smart, you better not just let your teachers teach them.
Nah.
You got to be teaching those kids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what I've heard people explain. Like, we all think like, how are we gonna fix the education system? How are we gonna deliver
teach your kids
education to these however many fucking kids are in the public education? It's like whoa. If you can control the education of your 2 kids or your 3 kids, and everybody does that, and
dude,
you know what I mean? Like, it's so much more simple that way.
There's so few things specifically that I learned in high school that I still can recall. So few things. I remember generalizations.
I remember a good amount of the history we learned.
I think I remember more history, but also
algebra is ingrained into my head.
Well, you've used it I dropped as soon as I fucking graduated high school. I didn't use math anymore. I mean, in my core classes in college, I did chemistry and shit. Like I used a little bit of math, but I'm like, if I can't do it in my head, I can't do it. I mean, that's that's my relationship to math. Like legitimately, if I can't do it in my head, I can't do it. I'm not a mather.
Really?
No, dude, I'm terrible at math.
I've always been definitely.
I don't even remember how to do like long division.
Oh, well, you use a fucking calculator for that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I was always the kid in class that could never show my work. I just knew how to do it in my head. I can get the right answer, but I have no fucking clue how I'm doing it.
No, the thing I like about math problems, I like long algebra problems because you have to write it down.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, that's just not, my brain is not very conducive to that.
Same thing with, you're not going to solve a calculus problem.
Right. But if you give me,
not writing it down.
But if you give me red, blue, yellow, black, and white, I can make any color you put in front of me. Just by eye.
Right. No, I probably couldn't do that.
But I can't do.
I would ruin that.
I can't do long division.
I can't do long division either. Even though I said I'm a math person, I don't think I could do, like, if you told me to do 2,078 divided by 7. I'd be like...
somewhere around 300.
I can do long division.
Right? Somewhere around 300.
You just start...
A little less than 300.
You go stepwise for the... You remember you go stepwise from the greatest place to the next place?
I don't remember that at all.
And then you subtract the remainders.
I don't remember that at all.
Okay, I remember. I could do long division.
But see, here's... Okay, 2,078. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
2,100 divided by 7 is 300 on the dot. right?
Wait, what is?
2100 divided by 7 is 300 on the dot.
Yes.
So it's 22 times 7 less than that? No, I'm doing that. I sound like I'm not a mather. I came up, I had an epiphany all on my own, and the camera just cut. So we'll end this one because, I mean, we're at 30 minutes. But I had an epiphany about multiplying by 5. If you want to multiply anything by 5, divide it by 2 and put a 0 on the end. So what's 32 divided times 5? Or not divided by 5, times 5. My bad. Multiplied by 5.
32
times 5.
I would think.
It's 160. Because what half of 32 is 16 with
Right.
a 0.
I was gonna
160.
say 150 plus 2 more, which would be 160.
See,
Yeah.
I math like that sometimes too. But it was just specifically if you multiply anything by 5, cut it in half, and add a 0. Or if it's like 33 times 5, that'd be 16.5. So
No,
that's
probably.
165.
Yeah,
that happens all right. I don't know. I was literally completely on my own in the car, and I just had that epiphany. I was like, wait, that works at every number. If you want to multiply it by 5, divide it by 2, and add a 0, or add the first decimal place. I was like, holy shit!
Because think about.
Am I dumb?
Well, you're kind of using the base 10 system. I mean,
Yeah.
like that is because it's a root of 10. That's why you can do that. Like
Right.
because 5 is the. I mean, that's what you're doing.
Yeah. So like 45 times 5. I mean, if I was doing 45 times 5, I would do 50 times 5 and then minus 25. You know, because
It's crazy how often you don't have to do this.
right.
Ever. Really, ever. I mean, and, unless you're doing basic. But that's what I'm saying.
Well, all of our robots do it for us.
all of our robots do it. That's
Like
all
people
we
act like we're not interfacing with robots on a daily basis.
all the time.
All the time we're
Using robot technology.
absolutely.
I see your point now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The robots
Yeah.
just do it for us.
We use robots for everything.
right. But yeah, like
Camera, robot.
45 times 5. Half of 45 is 22.5. So 45 times 5 is 225. It works all the time. I was like, wait, did I just get a little more in touch with my autism? What just happened there? I was like, wait, how have I missed this my whole life? How did no teacher ever explain that to me?
They probably did.
Yeah, probably.
They probably did.
But honestly, until college, from kindergarten through 12th grade, I think the things I remember most are literally how to read, how to write.
Nah.
I don't remember any of the specific lessons that I learned.
I was never a grammar one. No
But
one
you
for
also
grammar.
went into a field in which you used a lot of what you learned to continue learning more.
Right.
So I guess I can say that I'm lying when I say that, because what about music? I know so many things about music that never left me. So
True.
I guess
True.
it just so happens that I pursued a career path where I didn't learn. I didn't have to retain anything from core curriculum. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think music's not a part of core high school curriculum. You don't have to have music in high school.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
Yeah.
I just went down a path where the things I learned in high school weren't STEM, like, or, math, literature. Still use literature a lot. I love grammar. I think it's funny. Do your friends use like text speak? Like, do they text with like use a U instead of spelling you, or use like
Sometimes.
I never do. I type out everything. I use apostrophes. I punctuate. I capitalize. Like,
No, I don't do that.
I absolutely do that. I know you don't, because you don't know how to spell definitely. That one kills me every time.
Oh my god. But
DEFIN. If you put that in, it will not go to defiantly. I don't know how it always goes to defiantly for you.
do you prefer a series of messages as separate messages? Like,
Or like one long message?
Yeah.
It depends, because sometimes you send a message and then immediately have another thought and want to follow it.
Right.
But sometimes it's one thought out message. So I'm indifferent to that. it just depends
No,
on how
what would you prefer to receive?
What am I doing? Because if I'm like at work and like you're saying you hate your watch buzzing, yeah, that pissed me off. Fucking calm down. Send me one text. But like if I'm just chilling, like actually having a conversation with you, and you're just going like you hit send and then immediately have another thought and hit send. Me and Quinn do that all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Where I'll send 4 messages before he replies, and then he'll send 3 or 4 before I reply. So I think it just depends on the context. I don't think I prefer one or the other. Depends on what I'm doing. Am I into the conversation? Because it's also kind of interesting to see how the messages are broken up, and you can almost see the thought progression of who you're talking to in a way, in some cases. Because you see, like, they sent this one message, and then they immediately sent this other message, so you can tell, oh, them thinking about the first message they sent provoked this thought, and now they sent another message.
Right.
Whereas if it's just one long, drawn-out message, you don't see the thought progression. You just see, like, oh, they had this all thought up in one cohesive thought, and so like that's not how humans work.
Sometimes you like there's just something that's different between something that's like written, like if you were to write a letter to somebody, right?
Yeah,
like you would want it to be just so like the sentence is placed in a proper logical order. It was pre-thought out.
Yeah.
But when you're texting, you're just like
a stream of consciousness.
Send.
Like isn't that a form of poem? That stream of consciousness poem where you just write as it comes out. So that's that's how humans think. So it's almost, in a way, it's kind of fun to receive messages like that, especially it depends on who I'm talking to as well. If you're just saying bullshit, then I'm going to be annoyed. But if like me and Quinn are having a super deep intellectual discussion and he's like, and we're both like just firing on all cylinders and 7 messages will come in and I'll be like, damn, he's thinking right now.
Right.
Like that's fun. That's like relatable. I like that.
That's true.
We'll start wrapping it up. That was really fun. We need to have like once like every other month we'll have like a Google episode.
That's honestly a good idea. Let's just Google some shit.
Or we need to write down like one word topics and put them like in a bucket. And as soon as we think through everything, we draw another word and we try to riff on it and like figure out what we can talk about that word. Like I'm just looking around the room like lotion. You pull it out and it's like lotion. It's like, and then we just start talking about whatever the topic is. That might be a fun concept. We might need to try that.
Just like, yeah. Or like something to Google. Like anytime you've been like thinking about something, like, hey, I don't want to look into that. Just write it down.
Yeah.
And we can
save
try
it
to
for the podcast.
Yeah, we can just put it into the bucket.
That'd be fun.
And like, like you said, like maybe once a month
concept.
We'll have a time where we're gonna pull an idea.
I'd say bi-monthly. Yeah. Once a month is too much because we only have 4 episodes a month.
Right.
One every 4th episode being like that, I think is a little bit too frequent.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But yeah, like that'd
we'll
be
throw
fun.
them in there.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun concept. Maybe.
So we try to keep track of things you want to Google,
and then don't.
And then don't do it.
Dude, that's torture. That is torturous.
That's kind of good though.
That is funny.
Like anything that you are gonna like Google and look into for like 10 minutes.
Google it live.
Nope. We save it.
And then we'll start. We obviously start discussing it before we know anything about it, and then Google. And you can see our stream of consciousness on what we thought and what we learned. That's a fun concept. I like that. We'll implement that for sure.
We'll try
it. Thanks for listening. Sorry this episode was short.
Which one is this?
This is 17.
17.
So what do you unlock at 17? We can go get jobs. You can't join the military at 17. That's 18, right?
Yeah.
Can't smoke. That's 21 now.
I would say you're getting into that age where someone else is helping you orgasm. You know what I mean? Like that's when you're 17, you're like,
we're at the losing your virginity age.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Podcast lost its V card.
Consensually, of course, between 2 of age people.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know why.
I think the age of consent in South Carolina is like 16, right?
I think it's 14.
What?
I think it depends on who the other person is.
Oh, right. Because like 2 people under the age of 18 can be like, oh, we're dating.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think it depends. But I think 16 is like the age. But then that only like I think reaches up to like 21. Like if you were 22 or 23, you can't be fucking with a 16-year-old. I don't know. I've never had a need to know those laws. My relations have always been my age.
Like say you're 21 years old.
That's weird. I've never dated somebody young or like more than a year older or younger than me.
Really?
Never. All my relationships have been the same. Like we've been in the same grade. That's I've like, I have since I graduated college. I've been in the same relationship. So I've not like met any people in the real world. So yeah, all my relationships have been my same age. That's weird to think about. I don't understand how these like 60-year-old famous people can date like 20-year-olds.
They're on testosterone.
If I know, but I'm saying I'm 26. I couldn't put up with a 20-year-old right now. Young people suck, dude.
Yeah, if you had a bunch of cash,
young people suck.
It would help.
And also it depends on you might find a really mature 20-year-old. But no, I'll keep it my age.